Welcome back to the Riff's Automated Character Sheet. In today's mini tutorial, we are going to go over the Cybernetic and Bionics sheet. The first thing you want to take care of is the level of augmentation. Obviously, if you're taking this sheet, you have something other than none. You can go implants, partial, or full conversion. Partial conversion gives you some special features, but also gives you some penalties. It also gives you some bonuses as well to possession and save versus magic. Same thing for full conversion, except they are a little bit more extreme, so you get a +5 versus possession and +3 versus magic. These bonuses are actually added to your main bonuses. So on the main page you can see that you got the +5 to possession and you got the +3 to save versus magic. The next section here is where your total cost is. So if you're building your headhunter from scratch and you want to pay attention to how much money you're spending or have to spend on upgrades, this will tally up from each of the individual columns as you add in cybernetic and bionic features. If you just want to have a general feel of just how much your cyborg is worth, that's also a good cost estimate as well. Next we move on to the limbs, and the first one we've got is the head. You'll have a little drop or pop-up menu here at the red tab that tells you how much starting MDC comes with the body part and what's the maximum. For this case, let's say if you go for a cyborg's head full conversion, your starting value here, you can enter 60. And let's say, or if you want to upgrade it, let's say you want to go to 90, you can then manually enter 30 here, or you can enter 90 minus 60 to figure out what you need, so that populates there. Either way, when the value is 30, you'll see the cost show up here, and you'll see the totals up there. Next we have features. So this one tells you how many cybernetic and bionic implants you can put into this particular limb, whether you're partial or full conversion. And we have a nice little picture that kind of gives you some numbers so you can figure out where your various cybernetic body parts are and what kind of features they have on them. So the first thing I'm going to do is the multi-optics eye, and you can choose which slot. So obviously it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to put 1 through 6 as my slot, and then I'm going to do the drop-down menu for this one to show you you can pick either pair of eyes or one eye. And in this case I'm going to go for the pair of eyes, and that populates there. Many of you may know that the multi-optics eyes also provides a +1 to strike with a targeting sight, and that does not show up in your automatic calculations because it only applies to conditions in which you're using a ranged weapon, whether it's a built-in bionic blaster or a gun or something like that. And in order to add that to your character sheet, you're going to have to use a customization option. And to do that, all we're going to do is go to the main page, and under ranged weapons, let's say you've got WP handguns. You'll see that nothing starts up here because at level 1 you don't actually have any bonuses for handguns. But let's say we jump up to level 3. You'll see that we now have a +1 to aim. And if you want to add that custom sight bonus from the multi-optics eye, you can add your customization of +1, and you'll see it jumps up to +2. And for the next feature, which is the amplified hearing, I'm just going to reset this back, and we're going to add a hand-to-hand style. Alright, so you can see you got a +4 to attack, 2 to pull punch, and 2 to roll from hand-to-hand expert. If we go back to the Bionics section, so amplified hearing is 7, 8, 9, so we're going to add those in here. And we're going to pick amplified hearing from the drop-down menu because it's first. And you'll see the information is blurbed here and the price adds up. And if we go back to the main page, you'll see that we've got the +3 from initiative, +1 to parry and dodge from having the amplified hearing. So next we have the chest. Same thing, you can click on the tab and double check your MDC, enter the values in. You've got the nice little diagram where you can put stuff. I'm going to pick slot number 4 here for our next feature, which is the combat computer. So a little blurb here, but more importantly on the main page you'll notice that we got our bonus to initiative, to dodge, disarm, and pull punch and roll. Next we have the arms and legs, and they're basically the same thing the way they're set up, but they are a little bit more involved because they interact with your character's attributes. Now, the way the system is set up is it's based off of your organic nature, so everything about your character is organically produced. If you have a bonus from like boxing or gymnastics, it's already automatically calculated. Putting a cybernetic system in, or a limb here in this case, forces you to overwrite the organic nature of your body, and therefore this is sort of an artificial augmentation. So again, you can find your MDC for a particular limb. You can enter the individual values and any MDC here, and again the price will populate. But what's more importantly is with the physical strength and the physical prowess, you've got your limits here. So in our case, we're going to do like a full conversion cyborg. So your minimum is 24 and your max is 36. So we're going to go 36 to show you how this works. And you can enter the value here. So you can either do 12 or you can do 36 minus 24 to get your value. And you'll notice the price increase here. And if you want to be a robotic strength instead of an augmented strength, you can click here under augmented and just pick robotics like that. And you'll see that it's way more expensive, so make sure that's within your budget when you're doing so. Physical prowess is the same thing. You can put your value in here, and I'll show you how to customize that on the main page in a moment. But features are also available here, so if you want to put something like a chemical spray or something, it tells you how many slots you have available. In this case, I'll show you, so we're going to pick the wrist here, which is number 13. And we're going to pick chemical spray. Now, the thing with some of these options, most of them have sort of a subcategory, so I'm going to do chemical spray here. But let's say you pick some of the specialty options, so you want a strong mega damage acid, and you want a nice CO2 foam to put out fires and stuff. So you want to put in those secondary lines to get that additional stuff. And again, the prices will add up and calculate based upon your choices. Now, once you've got your full conversion done and you've done this value for both arms and all your legs, you can go to the main page, and you'll see that none of the bonuses have populated. And you have to do this to customize it, so we'll put our 36 strength here, and you notice it populates there. Now, as I said, if you've got something like boxing, your character will organically pick up that bonus, and now that +2 strength you get from boxing goes up here. And the best way to deal with that and to keep track of that is to just do an equal sign and then the -2, so that you go back to your robotic strength of 36. You also need to select the type of strength to robotics to get your proper carrying and lifting capacity, as well as your mega damage that shows up there. And as I said before, the legs are basically the same thing. You can enter the strength and the speed to get various stuff, and you have to manually enter the values to replace the artificial limbs that you have in your body. But I'll just make one note here of one of the special features. Again, you can pick, or it tells you how many slots are here on the features. But I'm going to do slot number 6 here for the knee, for legs of leaping. So if you enter that in, you'll see you can leap 15 feet high and 30 feet long. And let's say we want to put some the Bionic booster jets. So we'll throw those in. We'll call those slot number 3 because we're near feet. You'll notice that 15 is now jumped up to 23 because these two are interrelated and provide bonuses to each other. And last but not least, we have the miscellaneous section. So if you're picking a character, something that's weird or alien or exotic, like one of the dragon cyborgs from Rifts Japan, or one of the mechanized or tracked-wheeled heavy machine cyborgs from Rifts Warlord of Russia, this is where you want to put your data. If it's too much, then you might want to put it here on the OCC character sheet and write some specialty stuff, but you should be able to get it into the customization section here under miscellaneous. And I will show you some more tricks and trades in the next video, which is the advanced video for using some of the options here. But let's say you wanted to add some extra limbs. So the best way to do that is we're just going to type it in here. And I'm going to put a little note for my bonuses. So I get a +1 attack, and a +1 to strike and parry. And check in the book, my price is 250,000 universal credits, and that's tallied up in there. And if you wanted to, so you have to take these to customize that. If you wanted to add it to your actual character sheet, you're going to have to go to the main page, and you'll have to add it manually here. So you get a bonus to attack, bonus to strike, and a bonus to parry. And you'll see those have all added into here as well. And that concludes our mini tutorial on the Cybernetics and Bionics. Until next time.